The Thanksgiving holiday is coming up, and so I am featuring this nonprofit, Thanksgiving Heroes, who rounds up over 1,000 volunteers and gathers hundreds of $1,000s in donations so that they can deliver Thanksgiving meals to over 3,500 families. Come and hear more about this nonprofit. Rob Adams, the founder, is so sincere and genuine with the good work that he's doing and the stories that he has to share. Come and be excited and learn how you can support them in the good work they're doing this Thanksgiving season. Welcome to the Do Something More podcast, the show all about service where we highlight the helpers who inspire us all to do something more. If you're passionate about nonprofits or looking for simple ways to volunteer and give back to the causes that matter to you, this is the podcast for you. I'm your host, Melissa Draper. Stick around and I'll show you all the many ways anyone can truly make a difference in our world today. Welcome to this episode of the podcast. This one is especially applicable for the Thanksgiving season that we have coming up, and also the reality that many families in our nation are facing food insecurity right now. And so I wanted to feature this nonprofit for the good work and unique work that they are doing to help fulfill that need for many that are feeling it. I want to welcome to the podcast the founder of Thanksgiving Heroes, Rob Adams.
Thank you, Melissa. I'm so excited to be here today.
So let's just go over the basics. You can introduce yourself first and then tell us just the basics of what you do with Thanksgiving Heroes.
My name is Rob Adams. I am a Utah resident. I founded Thanksgiving Heroes about 12 years ago. I sell real estate, have a little real estate team to pay the bills. I take nothing from the nonprofit. It's purely a passion project for me. We are in the middle of it. You said it perfectly. So we are 18 days away as of recording to what I call the big day. On that day, we will deliver over 277,000 pounds of food to 3,500 families. Each family will receive a box of about 65 pounds, a gallon of milk, 10 pounds of potatoes, the turkey, all the fixings on the Saturday before Thanksgiving.
So they get everything they need for that Thanksgiving meal.
Even olives. You crazy Utahns love those olives. I deliver those too.
Hey, they make up any vegetable tray. That's awesome.
That's right.
How did all of this get started?
Well, the truth is that someone did it for me when I was a kid. Someone, when I was about 11 years old, showed up. My mom and dad, and there was 4 kids. We all lived in a pickup truck just outside of a little town called Houston, Texas. It was right before the holidays. A family showed up and they took us into their home. They were actually Utahns. They took us in, the Christiansen family, which, by the way, if you're listening and you're a Christiansen, I'd love to connect with you. I haven't ever been able to find those guys. Mm-hmm. But they brought us into their home and they said, hey, listen, we leave town. We go home for the holidays. We'd love you to stay here. And it was a kindness that I'd never even heard before as a young boy. The thing that really impressed me was the pantry and the fridge were clear full of food for me and my family. There was gifts for me and my family, and they expected nothing in return. I remember opening up the fridge and the fridge was clear full, and that pumpkin pie was just about eye level to my little self. And I remember turning around and my mom was just bawling. And I told her, I've told this story thousands of times and it still chokes me up. This part with my mom, I love her so much. I just told her, Mom, one day when I'm rich, which for an 11-year-old boy was code for not sleeping in our truck, I'm going to do this for someone. And she said, I know you will. And it's a promise that I made. And so fast forward, I'm grown up and life is really good. I'm successful in real estate and I've got my little team cranking, and my mom called me out on it. She says, Rob, let's do this. And so I had a goal to feed 10 families my first year. And I went to the school district and I learned that the need was, it's incredible here in Utah. Currently, it's 1 in 5 kids. When I started 12 years ago, it was only 1 in 9 kids. And so the need has grown. But I had no idea that there were so many hungry children, just like me. The only place that I ate during those times was at school, and those Texas lunch ladies, I'd have free breakfast and free lunch, and they would load my plate up. They could tell I was a hungry boy, and they took good care of me with their biscuits and gravy and that Southern cooking, But I was astounded to find out that here in Utah, there's such a need. And so I went and told a friend of mine, hey, I've got a goal to feed 10 families. This is what I'm thinking about doing. And he's like, well, I'll feed 10 families. And our first year, we fed 755 families.
Wow.
It was crazy how many people were looking for an opportunity just to line up. There's a lot of people that are looking for that soup kitchen opportunity, or they go downtown, but they don't feel really safe with their family, or whatever. There's always kind of a reason not to act. And this is really very simple. These children are nominated normally by school teachers about 88% of the time,
Mm.
and we just go right into their home and deliver that food and create a connection between the family that has it and the family who doesn't have it, that is more valuable than even the food. It creates hope, it creates connection and significance. These children who have this food insecurity can realize that today doesn't equal tomorrow, and that there's a future brighter than today, and that they're loved. Then these children who have everything, who are complaining, I need a new cell phone or whatever garbage they're after right now, step into these houses and they realize, like, oh my gosh, we are so blessed. Our life is so, so good. So it creates this kind of, it's kind of a gift for the giver and for the receiver, and food just happens to be the vehicle. It's been an interesting 12 years as we've grown. My second year, I thought perhaps I had kept my promise to my mom. I got a call from a single mother, and she said, Rob, last year you and your organization, I'm doing air quotes, you can't see me right
Mhm.
now, you and your organization, which was just me and some of my friends, showed up and delivered food. My husband had just left me and my two children, and it was either buy food or pay rent. And your organization made a huge difference. And now I'm on my feet and I want to pay it forward. And I had this moment of like,
Mm.
that's what it's about. It's about facilitating the opportunity for us, and I believe we're good. No matter what the media says, I believe that there are good people everywhere looking for an opportunity to do good. And so when I realized that, my calling, the reason that God made me was to facilitate this transaction, to create an opportunity for people to love on one another. My mission became very clear, and it's been a crazy ride, through COVID and all the things that we've done, elections and the economy doing some crazy stuff. But here we are today, 12 years later, and I'm very proud that my nonprofit is still standing. It's a rare thing. There's a lot of nonprofits that never get off the ground, and because of this connection and people continually showing up, donating, volunteering, and nominating, we have grown and grown. And so that's kind of a 5,000-foot view of why we did it and what we're doing.
Yeah, that's great. I have talked to so many nonprofits that have had similar experiences where they started wanting to fulfill that need that they saw in the community, but then realized that part of their goal, part of what they were fulfilling was, as you said, connecting the dots and facilitating and creating opportunities for people that want to help and give back, but don't always know exactly how to do it or where to put those efforts.
It's an interesting thing that I see happening, and social media, I love it and I hate it. But one of the things that I love about it is that I see that the Jensens, they went and they served the Browns, and now they're doing Christmas for them too. They're showing up, and the connection is greater than just this one opportunity. It's more than just a random name off of a tree, or a drawing that you get. Like, you get to interview 3 or 5 families and connect with one, and maybe that family is one that you can help even more. And I've seen it over and over again where these families are building long-term friendships and supporting one another, because at the end of the day, I think the one thing that we're missing most right now in our world is meaningful connection.
Absolutely. Well, and those stories stick with you forever. Whether you're on the receiving side or the giving side of that, that can have an impact. I mean, just as you shared your own story, we're doing this over the computer and I felt that emotion and that beauty and tenderness in your own story. And then as you share of that single mother that wanted to give back, those things can have impact for a lifetime.
It's true. I'll tell this story. I've told it, as I said, thousands of times in my 12 years, because it is the fuel that gets me through the hard days, right? But as I tell my story, I'm amazed, in fact, surprised at how many people are like, oh, yeah, that was me. That was someone, they put the Christmas presents on the porch and they rung the bell, or they showed up. Oof. Or they are the families that put the food on the porch. They are the family that did the thing. And these kids, they remember it clear into their adult lives, as I do, as I remember how I was being helped. And so I kind of believe that we're all looking for an opportunity to create that for our children, or maybe to even relive it ourselves. There's nothing more exciting than serving another person in a meaningful way. Well, I
Right.
don't know why I'm so emotional about it today. Like, it really, you're hitting my nerves today.
Oh, well, I'm so grateful for you to come and share all of your experiences and feelings about this project. So it's okay. I want to also just talk about the logistics a little bit, especially because we do have other nonprofits or people that are wanting to get ideas that do not live in the state of Utah. So, what are the logistics of what you do? You mentioned how you take nominations for your families. So, how do you kind of go about that process? And then, how do you go about getting your donations and volunteers
Hmm.
to put it all together into what you're able to achieve?
That's a great question. The first advice I would give someone that wanted to do a nonprofit is don't do it. Go find an organization out there that is in alignment with what you want or what you're about, and throw in with them, cast in with them, and work with them, and then see if there's a gap, if there's a space in which there's a group of people who aren't being served in a way that perhaps they should be, then do it.
Then
But
there might be
go
a need.
there might be a need, but there's probably someone out there that is working on food insecurity or single mothers or something, and they already have the mechanism in place. I am so very lucky that my nonprofit got legs and took off. I really am a unicorn out there. And so that's my first advice is don't start your own nonprofit. Go sign up and try a couple that are in alignment with your cause, and then learn about it. And then maybe there's still a need. There's still something that you can do, because this has been really hard. Getting into the schools, for example, there's
Mhm.
a high barrier of entry because they don't know me. They don't know who I
Right,
am. Let alone do they know that I'm going to give the names to Melissa and she's going to go deliver the food. And so there's a tremendous amount of trust.
right.
Also, as they're nominating the families, is this organization really going to show up? It's taken me 12 years to build
That trust.
trust with these teachers, because these teachers love we love their kids. And if they're going to take care of them, they want to be sure that their kids are taken care of. They're not going to just do this out of the blue, right? And so that's a very sacred relationship that I've created with the schools. Also, I'm aligned with a lot of other nonprofits who I support their families this time of year because they support perhaps a child who's struggling with a chronic illness, or a parent who has come across hard times financially because of cancer, or whatever's going on. And so I've created relationships with other nonprofits, and then I support them throughout the year. The volunteerism is an interesting thing. It's an ebb and a flow, because at the end of the day, a nonprofit is a business. And if I'm not providing for my volunteers a world class experience, then they'll go elsewhere.
Mhm.
They won't come back. But I've been lucky to create a tradition. And I often warn people, hey, I want you to come to this event, but I should warn you, once you come, you're going to want to come back every year, because it becomes a tradition. Like, it changes our children from entitlement to gratitude. It
Mhm.
reminds you of how blessed you really are. It's a wonderful experience. And on top of that, you get to feed these kids. You get to see people get thoroughly excited about a pumpkin pie. It's wonderful.
Yeah, you'll be hooked for sure.
You'll you'll be hooked, and so be careful. I'm just gonna warn you now. So the volunteers, they come and go. It's interesting that I have volunteers that show up for my golf tournament but won't come to our concert, or they'll come to the concert but they won't come to the car show. And so I've got these different groups of people that I'm trying to engage their interests, all for the cause of feeding children. And so you have to kind of be marketer. You have to be a social media expert. You have to be a promoter, and then you have to
Mhm.
understand. It's just there's so many different things that you have to do. And I'd like to tell you that the my secret to my success is I have found people who are good at all the things that I'm not. I'm good at my thing. I'm a genius in my space, but my superpower is finding people smarter than I am. And so they then attract in their people. And so I'm trying to get my volunteers to nominate their friends to come volunteer.
Mhm.
Um, and it has just continued to grow. There's some of my friends who I don't see except for on the big day every year. They come through the line, they get out of the car, they give me a hug, and they go deliver food, because such is life. It goes
Right.
quickly, and then all of a sudden it's a new year. Go
That's your
ahead.
big day coming up on the 22nd, and I
That's right.
noticed on your website you're still looking for volunteer drivers to
Yep.
come and help out with that.
We need 900 cars this year to deliver. That's
So
a
what
lot.
does that entail being a driver? What is that experience?
You'll go onto the website and sign up for a time block so that I can make sure that when you come through, you're not waiting in line for hours. That's in the past, it's just like everybody come when you can. And so I had everybody showing up at 8 o'clock and I would have a mile's worth of cars and everybody was always usually pretty patient and in good spirits, but I want you to come right through. When you pull in, there's going to be a high school team there, a baseball team often, or a football team. We've had motorcycle clubs come through, or I've had the one time I had the motorcycle club on this side and the Women's Council of Real Estate Agents on this side, all in their active wear, all in their leather, face tattoos, lattes. Like it was just this division and the guy that one of the motorcycle guys comes up and he said, "Hey Rob, you've got to tell those ladies to calm down because they're talking too much trash." I, I had to laugh. I'm like, "Are you sure?" He had a tattoo on his face, and he's like, they're aggressive, Rob." And I'm like, "Yeah." And so we'll have the left and the right and the middle. Politically, it doesn't matter. We can all agree hungry kids are no good,
Yep.
and everybody shows up and rolls up their sleeves, and it's just mayhem. You pull in, we load the food into your car. Where do you want to go? If you're in early enough in the day, then we've got a lot of options. If you come later in the day, it's a little bit further away to drive, but come prepared to go on a road trip with your family and you take these boxes. I give you a name and an address and a phone number and a script.
Oh, wow, okay.
So I want you to say when you walk in the house, invariably they're going to say, "Well, how did you guys find out about me? How did you know that we needed this help?" And your answer should be, "Someone in the community must love you very much." What if that family receives this gift and for the rest of the year they're walking out and they're wondering, was it them? Was it that guy over there? Is that who put love on me? If we have people looking for opportunities to love, well, then what do we create? More love. And so you go deliver the food. I've invested significantly in a routing service so that when I get names, I can make sure that you're going from one house to the next. And if you're delivering 4 boxes, usually takes about an hour to deliver that food. And that's it. You're done. It's an easy day.
I love that idea of giving them a script because I do talk to people, again, that want to have those experiences, but don't always know what to say or how to handle it, and so giving all of I mean, the whole package is there, and then, as you said, just letting the love and the desire you have to do good fill in the rest.
That's right. That's exactly right. And it's interesting how people can show up. Giving is a skill set. Receiving is a skill set. You'll drop off food and people there'll be shame and they'll just like put the food over there and leave. And then there's other people that will run out and they'll throw their arms around your neck and invite you in and want you to be a part of their meager world just for a second. And then there's people who are good at giving and throwing their arms back around and like, "I love you. Thank you so much." And so it's just weird. There's so many dynamics in this process that it's not just a simple A plus B equals C proposition. There's a lot happening in there. And some families love to deliver the food. Some families don't like delivering the food. They like unloading the trucks with me and handling 3,500 20-pound turkeys and
Mhm.
boxing and doing all of the hard stuff. But at any way, it's mayhem and it's wonderful and it goes down. We'll need over 300 volunteers to help me unload the trucks and stage the food
Mm.
and box it. And then usually we have about another 300 people out either directing traffic, loading the food, giving out the names and directions and doing different things along the line. And so it's insanity. It's a wonderful day and it's exhausting. By the end of the day, you see those boxes lined up all the way down the parking lot of 3,500 boxes, and you just think there's no way we're going to get all that food delivered. And then people just keep coming through and coming through, and we have a radio station there playing music, and it's wonderful. It's just a great day, and every year it's like having a baby too, Melissa. Sometimes every day year I'm like, this is it. There's no way we're doing this ever again through the election year or through COVID. And then as soon as it's over, it's like, we should do it again. We should have another baby. We should go again.
Yeah, it's amazing how service can be just as rewarding as raising kids, even with
Yep.
all the ups and downs that involves. Yeah, that's a great comparison. Well, you've shared your personal story and given us a few examples of the things you've seen, but I just want to ask, are there any other stories or things that stick out to you as you've had this experience of serving these families, either those you've served or those involved in the process that you want to share?
Yeah, actually, there's a couple. The first year that I delivered food, my first year doing Thanksgiving Heroes, I delivered to a pretty affluent area here where I live, and I was driving in, and I lived in a pretty poor neighborhood at that time. I was just getting started. As I was delivering the food, I was thinking to myself, these guys should be delivering dinner to me. These guys
Mhm.
these guys have everything and I have nothing, comparatively speaking. We knocked on the door, they opened it, and the house was clear empty, no furniture in the whole house. Dad had been diagnosed with a type of cancer that was terminal, and they had done everything they could to save his life. And in so doing, they had bankrupt and they were waiting to be short sold or auctioned out of their home. And they had nothing in the refrigerator, not even mustard, nothing.
Mm,
And I took away from that lesson, you never know what's happening behind that door. Just because they look like they're putting on a show, you never know what struggles people are going through. And so on that my big lesson was I need to quit making assumptions about people's needs. If they sign up,
absolutely.
they probably need it. Another one, I had a gal come through. I don't know, we served her and her family. Her husband had just passed away, and she was left with a handful of children. And the family that we served, or that did the serving, then did Christmas for them. And
Mhm.
now she's gone through school and she has a job, a good career, and she's doing her best to raise this family. And she comes through the line first, like she'll be the very first car there in the morning, and then she comes through again and again, and she brings her kids kicking and screaming, the whole family, and they come through because she wants to do this for somebody else. It was so impactful for her and her family. She wants to bring them through. And usually I only have you come through one time. There's only enough boxes to come through, but her, I expect her to come through at least 3 times and fill up her van and go love on people. And she gets out of the van. Each kid gets the potatoes or the bread or the pie. Everybody has to carry something to the door, and it's a team activity. And I just love that she has kind of caught that bug and that she is teaching her children this act of service. Those are two that stand out in my mind. The other, and then this is my last story, is we've continued to increase our goal, and increasing our goal, I have to buy more groceries. I've got to do a
Mhm.
fundraiser to raise more money. And when I first started, my goal, was to feed that 10 families. And so to write out a check for 755 families was a lot of money. I couldn't believe that we were writing a check for that. Well, this
Right.
year, every year, the number gets bigger. Let's do more. Let's do more. That was awesome. We should do more. And the thing that's amazing is that every year, more shows up, almost to the penny.
Hmm.
Almost almost to the penny. We need this much money in order to buy the groceries, and we've had it right till the day of. And you can't just order turkeys. You can't just be like, "Hey, I want 3,500 turkeys." We order our turkeys in February
Wow.
so they can start growing these little turkeys. And so we set this goal. We're on the hook for these finances, and there's been almost to the very day of writing the check that we don't have the money, and it'll show up. It will show up. And the reason that's important that I should bring that up is because I'm not in the nonprofit business. I'm not in the charity business. I'm in the miracle business. This year included, I get tested to my very limit, and to be reminded that what we're doing, what I'm going to help invite you to do with me is to get on the railroad tracks of a miracle and witness it. Like stand there and see the money show up, see the people show up, see the names show up. Every year there's been an obstacle. With COVID, we weren't allowed to meet in more than groups of 7, and we had to be 32 feet apart from one another, and there was all these rules. And I thought, well, that's it. We can't do it. And I called my partner and said, hey, we're done. And he said, Rob, if we get arrested for doing this, it'll be the very best media we could ever want.
There's a good attitude.
And I thought, well, let's go to jail then. Let's go. And and the police came and they supported us. They made sure the traffic was running smoothly and that we were all in compliance and we were doing all the things necessary. And so This is just a manifesting of an impossible thing. Let's feed 3,500 families. Let's come up with $500,000 to buy groceries. What do you say? Well, the most we've ever done is this much. We've never even come close to that. Well, here comes the miracle. Here it comes, and it will show up. It hasn't yet. It hasn't. This year, our challenge is unique. Can I share it with you?
Oh, yeah.
The challenge is simply this: with the government shutdown, SNAP benefits ending on November 1st,
Mhm.
people have gone in and Googled, how can I receive support for my family, food for my family in November? And my nonprofit, our nonprofit, shows up at the very top of the list. And so they've nominated, and we have filled up with nominations. We're maxed out.
Wow.
Most of the time, I'm looking for families right up until the big day to serve because I feel like we're getting to saturation. We're hitting we're hitting our number. And this year, 30 days before we hit it, we were full. And so the problem is that the schools that I've been working with for 12 years and building these relationships with, they normally have until the 15th of November to nominate their kids. So
Hmm.
that means they haven't even begun to nominate families yet.
And you're full up.
We're clear full. And so rather than turning away 10 or 15 families this year, we perhaps will turn away thousands of families. And so our goal is stretched. I want to do more, even though the miracle for the original goal hasn't showed up yet. I would like to feed as many more families as possible, whatever that looks like. And so we're reaching out there, and the I know the problem is that we've all been stretched thin. We're all paying more for gas. We're all paying more for food. Everybody is, but the people that I'm reaching out to, my real hope, my real goal is to reach that person that thinks, oh, they've got it taken care of. They don't need my help. I want that person to reach in their pocket and just send $10. It's amazing what I can accomplish with $10 at this volume of food. I can buy a lot of
For
food.
sure.
And so I want that person to get off of the couch and volunteer. I want that person to be activated because the people that are active in our community are fully tapped out. We are in a spot of need that we've never been in before. And so the people that I'm looking for are those that have never thought, well, I'm needed. And my message is you are so very needed right now. You don't know what your $5 or $10 donation could do. You could change a life by getting off the couch and coming down and delivering these meals because it's easy to think somebody else will take care of it, but the truth is that we need you. We need you to show up and feel that in your heart. And so that's the miracle I'm praying for this year is to really activate those who have never felt a call.
And that is the very purpose of this podcast. So that's a great thought to as we end this interview. And that's exactly my purpose is to remind every person that there is so much good we can do, no matter who we are or the small influence we think we have. And again, I love that reminder that you gave, even just the smallest amount, the smallest bit of room you have in your budget to give to a nonprofit like yours truly can make a difference. So thank you so much for that reminder. Where can they find you to donate or to sign up to volunteer for that big day?
They can go to Thanksgiving's Heroes. We're in a lot of different cities, but if you're in Salt Lake, be sure you do the SLC, thanksgivingsheroes.org, SLC, and click on the link, get involved, and be the miracle.
Okay, I will leave links to all of those in the show notes. And you do other things all year round. Your big thing is Thanksgiving, but you do meal kits and things all year round.
Yeah, summer break, spring break. This is still a need, and we can't help everybody, but we can sure help a few.
That's beautiful. Well, Rob, this has been a great conversation. Thank you so much for sharing your sincerity and your passion and heart for this good work that you're doing, and hope that we can help you get the word out.
Thank you for your help. Thank you.
That concludes my interview with Rob Adams, the founder of Thanksgiving Heroes, and you heard it straight from him. He needs you. Many of these nonprofits need you and the service and the good work that so many of us can do together to help so many that are struggling in our communities right now, whether it's just donating a few dollars or if you live along the Wasatch Front, donating your time and delivering some of these boxes. Their website still has openings if you're interested in signing up for that and help them get this good work done on this big day, the Saturday before Thanksgiving. So I will leave links to their website in the show notes so you can go and sign up and even learn a little bit more about all the good that they do. And if you enjoyed this episode or you were inspired by the messages that were shared here today, please share it with someone else you know. Maybe someone else needs to hear the message that they are needed and there is so much good that they can do right now. Share this podcast episode with them. And you can also follow the podcast on social media. I leave links to all of those in the show notes. Or as always, I will take your 5-star ratings or reviews on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you listen to this podcast. And of course, this week, I hope that you can find a way to do something more to help, lift, inspire, or make a difference.